the data from P100. I will try to add again here, but same message that it is already referencing other specifications. But from wherever we are copying into P100, like we are copying from demo 203, from there directly I can do the referencing. That is allowed. So now if I save and if I refresh, whatever the data referencing data I have got here, that data has come from demo 203. Like that I can do. From demo 203, I can pass the data to many other specifications, no problem. What I cannot do is like a multi-leveled referencing cannot be done. Okay, that is one drawback when you are using a referencing tab. But otherwise, commonly, if you want to copy any data in a very short form, it is much easier. You can use referencing. Okay, but whatever drawbacks we have seen so far, we can overcome that. There is another tab called as relationship tab. By going to that tab, you can overcome that particular drawback. Okay, you can actually overcome these two drawbacks which I just told you. So here any question, let me know in the referencing tab.
No, sir, it's clear. So the thing is like we have to treat this like example demo 203L as a source. From here we can transfer to anywhere, like reference to anywhere, but from there we cannot change.
Directly again from the second specification to third specification, I cannot pass over the data.
Okay, sir.
That's the only thing you have to keep in. But even that we can overcome when we go to the relationship tab. So if you people are fine so far, let's go to the relationship tab. So what is a relationship tab? Even relationship tab is a tab which is used to copy the data. Just like before, let me write that. So we have the last tab called as a relationship tab. And even this tab is used to copy the data from one specification to another, just like reference tab. Just like reference tab. So how to use this? See, before we go to relationship tab, you have to keep in mind one thing. Either you can use referencing tab or relationship tab at a time. I cannot use both. Means if I am already copying the data by using the reference tab, I cannot use relationship tab. Because see here what is happening. From demo 203, I am doing referencing into water specification, right? I am copying the data by using reference tab. When that is happening, I cannot go to relationship tab and again try to copy the data. Because what will happen? When I go to relationship tab, I am going to get a message like this, that the specification water cannot inherit data because it is receiving data by reference. Already the specification water is receiving data by reference. I cannot use on top of that relationship tab. Either use relationship tab or reference tab, not both. So now what to do? If I have to use relationship tab, then what is the option I have? How to use the relationship tab? What should I do so that I can use relationship tab?
You can delete the reference.
Yeah, I have to delete the reference specification. So if I delete reference specification, what will happen to the data here? If I delete this,
That reference
Data
mark
will be
will
gone.
reference
Data will
mark
be
is
gone.
that will go.
yeah, what does it mean? If the reference symbol is going away, means what? What is happening?
That data won't be there.
Yeah, whatever data we had copied, no, by using referencing, when that symbol is gone, the data, reference data will also be removed or it will be deleted, right? So
Sir, the
all I have,
yellow color is reference symbol. What is
yeah,
it for that green symbol? Tick mark, sir.
manual value assignment. Manual value assignment. So when I refresh the property tree, you see here the reference symbol is gone. The data that we copied by using reference is gone. Now I can go to relationship tab. Okay. Now if I go to relationship tab, there is no error message, nothing. I can use relationship tab. See, copying the data in the reference tab, what was the name? What was the name for that operation? Copying the data from one specification to another specification in the reference tab. What do we call that operation as? We call it as referencing. We call it as referencing. But in the relationship tab, copying the data is called as what? Here also we call referencing.
Inheritance.
Inheritance. We call it as inheritance. So we are inheriting the data from one specification to another specification. Referencing word is used for the reference tab. Okay, so how to copy the data now? Now see here there are two sections. The first section is where we are going to copy the data from one specification. Okay, here first part is for copying the data first time from the first specification. Then below also we have one more option called as substance water passes on to. Why they have given two different sections? In reference we had just one, no? See, in reference we have just one entire table where we can copy from multiple specifications. But in the relationship tab, the setup is little different. This is one section on top side and there is one more section below that. So the first section is used to copy the data. Let's say again, I will copy the data from demo 203. So what I have to do here, I have to click on the below icon called create inheritance relationship. You see the symbol here, plus symbol. I have to click on the first field under specification and then I have to click on this plus symbol called create inheritance relationship. When I do that, what will happen? Another small window will appear where I have to enter the specification name from where I want to copy. So what is my specification from where I want to copy? It is demo 203, right? Again I am copying the data from demo 203. But apart from that, below also you see they have given one more option called template. What is this option?
Maybe you get to select which property tree you want to copy.
Not property tree. Not property tree.
Node, maybe. Node.
Yeah, node.
Wait.
Exactly.
Temp.
Exactly. Which one, which part of your property tree do you want to copy? You want to copy first aid measures or firefighting measures or physical chemical properties, whatever that one node that you want to copy, no, that you can add here. Did you have that choice in reference tab?
No.
No, it was not available. But here in the relationship tab, you can particularly copy the data. You want only physical chemical properties, all you have to do is go to the template, then expand this template. Below that template, you can see there are many options. So if you want, you can copy all the data. That is also possible. You can copy all the data. Or if you want to copy just one option, one VAT, you can select that, like for example, physical chemical properties. Double click on that. That template will be selected. Now click on continue. So now what happens? That specification will be added into my first row and I can save this data. And what we are copying? From demo 203L, we are copying only physical chemical properties into my water specification. into water specification. And what will be the symbol for this inheritance? We are inheriting here, no? What will be the symbol? Earlier in reference, I have shown you the symbol was something different. Yellow color box with 3 arrow marks. Here, what will be the symbol? Let's look at that. I will refresh the property tree. Okay. Once you refresh and then go down, under physical chemical properties, you can see this is a symbol for inheritance. And if you keep the mouse pointer again, it will show that it is a inherited data. It's a inherited data. So this symbol is used for inheritance. And what does this downward arrow mark tell you? And say this symbol is appearing only for physical chemical properties. Though your demo 203 is having lot of other data, but because we are only copying physical chemical properties, so this symbol is appearing only here. Right, understood. And this is a symbol for inheritance, inherited data.
Physical chemical property is a property tree, right?
No, it's a VAT, value assignment type.
Okay. But
Right.
this
So
VAT is from which property tree?
property tree is here. No, this is your property tree, material safety data sheet.
Okay.
This is a property tree. All these below that are nothing but value assignment types. See, there is one more property tree where same physical chemical properties VAT is available. Do you know where? There is another property tree where same value assignment type is available. Let me show you. If you go right click on material safety data sheet and go to other property tree, if you go down, there is a property tree called standard. There is a property tree called standard. So select that. Okay. Now see here under that standard property tree also you can find there is one physical chemical properties. So when the data gets copied from demo 203, it is not only in MSDS property tree. In every property tree, wherever you have that same node or value assignment type, in all those property trees, the data will be copied. Just keep that in mind. Maybe if I forgot to tell you, now I am telling. Wherever, in whichever property tree that VAT is present, in all those places, the data will be copied. So this is a standard property tree which has physical chemical properties, and also you have MSDS property tree. There also you have physical chemical properties. So in both the places data will be copied. Clear?
But when we were inheriting, we did not select which from which property tree you want to copy the physical and chemical properties.
No, we don't have that option. We
Then we
don't have
get
that.
all the VATs and nodes as an option to add here from the 203L. When we try to
Yeah,
add.
yeah, we can add if you want to. See in the template I have shown you there is one more option called as all. Okay, let me show you.
No, just my
See,
question is when we try to add, it will show all the
we have all
all
here. So like in referencing how we copied all data, that is possible. Or apart from that, any other particular VAT if you want to copy, that also you can copy.
no, my question is this list is from where?
This list is already provided by SAP.
Okay. So this is the only data you can inherit.
Yeah, if you want to make changes, you can make change. That is fine. See, like for example, instead of this listed substance or list underscore pure, if you want to modify this name and if you want to add one more template, you can add, no problem.
Okay.
You can do those changes, it is possible. But here, as of now, you can copy from physical chemical properties. This is one clearly mapped. or you can copy from all.
Okay.
Means why other nodes are not there? For example, exposure control, handling and storage,
They have not
ecological.
added. They have not added. They have just added only physical chemical properties. If you want to add, yes, it is possible. You can modify that and you can add the remaining ones like stability and reactivity or firefighting measures. All that you can add. But just as an example, they have given physical chemical properties.
Okay.
Okay, so this is first part of your inheriting the data from demo 203. And I have shown here very clearly we can copy the data from a particular VAT, that is possible in relationship tab. Now coming to the second part below, if you want to pass on the data from your water specification or if you want to do multi-level referencing, that is possible. So in order to do that, we have to go below and just like before under the specification you have to click on the first row and then click on create inheritance relationship. Again you have to go to the plus symbol, click on the plus symbol and say it is asking for target specification. Fine, you want to share the data with a third specification. What is that specification name? With which specification you want to share the data? It is asking that. So let me add some specification here. Okay, maybe anything. Let me select this. And again, I want to just pass on the physical chemical properties. Okay, so now what is happening? We are copying from demo 203L to water specification. From water specification, we are passing on the data to 1601 specification. It is like ABC. ABC. Demo 203 is A specification, water is B specification, and this is C specification. So this was not possible in the reference tab. Multi-level referencing was not possible. But here we can do. Here it is possible. In fact, if you want to pass on to more than one specification, that is also possible. So like I will add one more specification here with whom I will be sharing this data. Okay, like that. Any number you can add with 3 or you can even share with multiple other specifications. So from one end we are copying the data to water specification and on the other end we are sharing that same data with multiple other specifications. So inheriting and passing on both is happening at the same time simultaneously. So that is why what will happen now, see this arrow mark I asked you, what is this arrow mark telling you? What is the meaning of this arrow mark?
I think means data is imported from an specific node.
Yeah, it is showing the downward arrow mark is telling you this physical chemical properties data is coming from some other specification. That is why we have this downward arrow mark. Because we are copying from demo 203, so that is why it is saying that we are copying the physical chemical properties from another specification. But what will happen when I pass it on? I am not only copying, now I am also passing on. So what will happen to this arrow mark? The arrow mark will be removed. So once I refresh, the arrow mark will be removed because I am doing both. I am receiving as well as I am passing on. So that is why this arrow mark will be gone. Okay, clear? So if I open this specification 1601, what do you think? The data will be coming here, the physical chemical properties will be coming here into 1601. Shall we check that? Copy this specification number, go to another session. Okay, open that particular specification. And if I go down, you can see here again it is showing downward arrow mark for physical chemical properties. Why? Because this 1601 specification is receiving data from water. There we are transmitting, no, we are passing on. So therefore here also we are getting this downward arrow mark because we are receiving the data from water specification. Same way to another specification also I am sharing, no, I am sharing the data from water specification to 821. So let's see here also. I will open 821 specification and there also same result. Yeah, see here. And moreover, if you go into the value assignment type, here also you are getting the same result. Because from water specification, we are passing the data to 821 and also to 1601. To both the specification, we are passing the data. That is why we are getting here. Otherwise, why it will come? Right? Like that. You can share with multiple other specifications. Okay, a relationship tab is made up of inheritance and passing on data. So you can use multi-level referencing. Not only that, one unique property of relationship tab is that we can selectively copy the data. Both things are possible. And what about overwriting the data? Like here, if I go to physical chemical properties in in referencing tab, I told you after we copy the data, we can modify that or overwrite. Can we do that here? See, for example, if I go to state of matter, here it is showing liquid. Okay, this data has come from demo 203 and it is showing liquid. I want to overwrite this data. I don't want to keep this value. I want to change it maybe to solid. Can I overwrite?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can overwrite. How will you overwrite? Select that row. First of all, select that row that you want to modify or edit. And just above
First
that, there
icon.
is one option called as override data. So the very first option above that row is called override data. If you click on that, it will ask you whether do you want to override the inherited data permanently or temporarily. Whether you want to override the data permanently or temporarily. You can choose one of the options. Like let's say I will select permanently. Okay, so when I want to override the data permanently, see this completely new symbol is appearing. So this symbol is telling me data record was inherited and changed permanently. So earlier it was liquid. Now if I want to change it to solid or some other gaseous form, maybe you can change. Or you can add more data. Okay, let's say 100. Okay, like that you can override the data. That is also possible in the relationship tab. Now again here the symbol is going to change. Earlier it was some other symbol. Now because I have overwritten data in one of the value assignment types, therefore the symbol has changed. Same thing you can do for another VAT. Let me go to color, and in color also I will modify this. I will overwrite. So select the row. Again click on the first option called override data. Yeah, now let me select temporary. I want to change the data temporarily. Now see, again this is a different symbol, and it is saying data record was inherited and changed temporarily. So whatever changes I am making, they are only temporary. So maybe instead of yellow, you want to add some other color, white. You can modify the data and save. Right, see here again, there are three different symbols here. The first symbol is this green color plus yellow color, first what we got, no? That is the normal way you will get the inheritance symbol. But whenever after you inherit the data, you modify that or override the data permanently, then you will get this second type of symbol called manual overwrite of relationship. And when you temporarily modify the data, you will get a symbol like this. So three different symbols in one relationship tab. Okay guys, clear so far? Are you able to understand what I am doing?
Yeah, so what is the difference between permanent and temporary inheritance?
Temporarily means what will happen once you remove that inheritance specification, no, even that overwritten data will be reset, even that will be gone. But permanently means you are making that changes permanently, even after you remove the inheritance specification, whatever data you had modified, no, that will be there as it is.
Okay.
Okay, so that is your relationship tab. So again, naturally, what question arises is why do we need both? If like relationship tab is having lot of advantages, right? Then why do we have to use a reference tab? Why have they even provided that option?
It is quick and easy.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like a shortcut or quick access button. We can use referencing simply because see a lot of errors will happen in the relationship tab. To be frank with you, here I have shown very simple example. But when you want to do more complex operations, like you want to copy all the data from demo 203, or if you want to create another template, at that time lot of errors are going to come. Fortunately here there are no errors, so I was able to explain to you in very simple terms. But this relationship operation is quite complex. So there is a possibility a lot of times errors will get introduced and it is difficult to rectify them. But they have given both the options to you, fine, whichever you like you can use it. You can override the data in references also, you can override the data in relationship tab also. No problem. So it is your choice, ultimately you can decide how you want to use it. Right, so all this, by the way, see in the interview, they will definitely ask you about these things. They will ask you what is referencing, they will ask you what is inheritance, and they will ask you what is the difference between the two. They will ask you what are the drawbacks of referencing tab. So you have to be very clear why I am spending so much time on this, because it is a expected question, very important one. So you have to know about these things.
If I change the data from the specification which I'm inheriting, it will be also changed in the inherited node or VAT, right?
Yeah, it should change. It should change.
Okay.
At least that is common between referencing and relationship tab.
But if I have permanently overwritten, then it will not change.
A permanent option we are using even after you remove this relationship, no? Even after you delete the specification. Even then that whatever data changes you have done, it will remain. That
No,
is
no,
why we call it as.
but I have made permanent changes, and then I have changed the data from the specification that I've inherited it. Then it should not change because I have already made permanent changes, right?
Yeah, ideally it should not change. Try that once in your system. Okay, so these are some of the important points in the tabs, specification tabs. What else is there? Yeah, again here also, when you are doing the inheritance in whatever property tree you have that physical chemical properties, it will be copied there. And here also it will change. See, here also it will change. I made changes in one value assignment type in the MSDS, right? And because the value assignment type is common for both your standard property tree and MSDS property tree, so if I make or overwrite the data in one VAT, that will reflect in the other property tree also. And why we use referencing? See, the main reason for using referencing is that let's say you are copying the data from one specification, okay? Because of regulatory changes, what you have to do, you have to update that specification, or you have to make some changes in that specification. So let's say, assume from specification A, you have copied the data to specification B, C, D, E up to X. From specification A, you have done referencing up to specification X. Maybe because the data was same, so you have just copied. Next time, whenever there are some regulatory requirement whereby you are forced to change the data in specification A. So what will happen? If we don't have that option of automatically the data getting updated, you have to open each specification and you have to change the data. For example, let's say under physical chemical properties, you want to change the color of that material from white to black. And that same referencing you have done from specification A up to specification X. So what you should do? You have to open specification B, change the color to black. Again open specification C, change the color to black. Again open specification D. Like that individually, how many are you going to do? It's a very, again, lengthy process. So instead of that, what will happen when you are using referencing? If you just change that color in one specification, in specification A, automatically it will get updated into all the other specifications. So that is an easy way, right?
Yes.
So that is why most of the times they will be using referencing. Okay, so remember these things, and apart from that, today I think we have still time. I will show you one more thing, how to create a specification. So far we have seen the structure of a specification, different tabs and all that. How do you create a specification? To create a specification, let me go back to initial screen and I'll start from there. You will come to CG02BD. Okay, this is your initial screen of specification workbench. In whichever category you want to create a new specification, first double click on that. Let's say in substance. I want to create a new specification in substance category. So double click. Next, after that, we are in display mode. So if you want to modify the data or if you want to create new data, new specification, we should always go to edit. So change the mode from display mode to edit mode. Right? We are in edit mode. Now another button is appearing here. Beside the edit button, there is a create button. So click on that create button and you can give some name for your specification. For example, sample 2026. Yeah. Next, I can select under which specification type do I want to create that specification. Like maybe real substance, listed substance, whatever. Select the specification type. What is the substance nature? That also I can select. Okay, let's say substance polymer, and authorization group I'll keep it as all. And then I will add a note. It is a sample specification. Okay, so I have given some name to my specification. I have selected the specification type, substance nature, authorization group, and I have added a note. Administration data, like I told you before, I cannot add anything here. It will be auto generated by the system. But all you have to do is just maintain this basic information about that specification. Now, if you press enter, what will happen? First, this specification will be added into the list. Here it will be added in this list. And apart from that, even in my detailed structure area, I am going to get this specification. Okay. So let's say I will press enter here. So that sample 2026 specification is added here. And at the same time, here also in the detailed structure area also it is showing sample 2026. But there is a problem here. What is that?
There is no property tree.
Why? Where it went?
We have
Maybe
not
we have
created any.
assigned. We are not assigned any.
No. Remember yesterday I did something. I went to SPRO and I deleted all the property trees from listed substance. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yesterday. And yesterday it was not taking effect. I was confused. Why still the property tree is coming though I have deleted? I was telling like that. No. So because I deleted that yesterday, that data is permanently gone. That is why here it is not showing a property tree. So if I want it back, I have to go to listed substance again. Again, I have to add back those property trees. Okay, let me do that again.
The substance will take the specification property from the specification type.
Yeah, it will take because your property tree is connected to specification type. So where should I go? Do you remember? What is the route I followed yesterday?
EHS, basic data and tools, and all that.
Okay, next.
Basic settings, specification management.
Specification management.
Okay, then.
Specification master.
Then.
Substance type.
Specify group trees and assign groups.
Go to specify specification types.
Okay.
Specify specification types. Okay, from where I removed that specification property trees?
Specification type property tree.
From where? From which specification type?
Listed substance.
Specification type property. Second one.
From listed substance, no. See, I will show you. Fine. See here in this listed substance specification type, I went to property tree and there I removed the property trees. Wait, I will show you. When I go back here, double click, see there is no property tree here. That is why in my specification also no property tree is coming. It is empty. So what should I do? I have to add the property tree back here. So go to new entries, select MSDS is there, no? You can go here as well. Select MSDS property tree. Select this also, compliance check property tree. Select standard property tree. Okay, let me add 3, that is enough. Add standard property tree. So after adding them, just keep pressing enter. Okay, now save the data. So whatever I had removed previously, now I have added those property trees back into listed substance. So ideally here I have to refresh again. So maybe I will go back. Okay, I created one specification if you remember, sample 2026. Sample 2026. Now let me double click. Yeah, see, it came back. So adding, removing property tree is possible by going to SPRO, but remember it is related to your specification type. First you have to go to specification type. In that whatever property tree is there, you can remove or you can add new property tree. It's your wish.
What is the code for SPRO? What code did you put it there?
SPRO itself, that is the T code.
Okay.
SPRO is the T code. Okay guys, understood? So see, this is a very important thing. You have to know how to add a new property tree, how to remove a property tree. You should know these things. So because I have added here 3 property trees, when I go to the options here, I will be having other 2 property tree. Apart from MSDS, I will have compliance check property tree and standard property tree. If I add one more, that 4th will also come here. Right? Property tree. So this is my new specification which I have created. Now I can go to one of these and I can maintain the data. Let's say I go to first aid measures. We are in display mode. Okay, and you can add some value or you can maintain the data like how we have done before. I can go to each of these normal value assignment types and I can select the data and I can assign it. So manually I am assigning some data. Apart from that, if you want to use referencing or inheritance, that also you can do, no problem. Right, I have added some data under first aid measures. Apart from that, you want to maybe use some referencing, you can also use referencing. So this is one way I have created a specification. Earlier it was not there, now I have created a specification. And there is one more way. See, you don't even have to give any name to the specification. Automatically the system will assign. How is that? Again, let me come back from the beginning. CG02BT. Okay, double click on whichever category you want to create the new specification. Then click on edit. Click on create option. Now what will happen if I leave this blank? I will just select specification type. Okay, and substance nature also I'll select. And then I will just add some new specification. Okay, and I will not add any name here. What will happen if I press enter?
There is an internal number range. It will
Yeah,
automatically text that particular number.
yeah. It is like next available number will be assigned to this specification. Let's say from 1 to 100, if that number range is assigned for specifications, let's say up to now 84 specification numbers are given. Because I am creating the 85th, that 85 number will be given to that specification. I don't even have to enter anything. Automatically next number will be assigned. So let me press enter. So see here, this is the next available number, 1939. 1939. No need to even give a name. The number will also be assigned automatically. So save the data after that. Now see, one thing which did not happen in the previous case is that when I go to firefighting measures or accidental release measures, this time it will ask me to create at least one identifier. See what will happen now. When I double click to assign some data, it is saying you should create at least one identifier for a new specification. Do you want to do this now? If you click yes, it will take you directly to the identifiers. Here you can add name, number or chemical formula which I have told you. Maybe customer name, and you can add the customer name and then you can save the data. So after this you will be able to assign the data in whichever VAT you want. Right? But why it did not ask in the last case when I created a specification? Here it asked me to create one identifier, but in the previous case it did not ask.
Because previously you have assigned it a name, a sample or something.
No, that will not make any difference. You are feeling like that, but that will not make any difference. Maybe because there was no property tree at all, right? There was no property
Okay.
tree at all. We added the property tree, then I started assigning the data. So maybe that is the reason. But otherwise also, even if you give a name while creating a new specification, it will ask at least one identifier you have to create.
It will ask during creation.
Yeah, while you are creating a new specification.
Okay.
This is my new specification, no? And this also.
Mhm. Without identifier, it will not allow to create that specification.
No, you can create a specification. I'm speaking about assigning the data.
Okay,
Here,
okay.
after creating, we have to fill this, no? All this we have to fill.
Mm.
So
Mm.
before you start filling the data in the VAT, it will ask you to at least create one identifier.
Okay, okay.
But again, you can overcome that. I mean, it's not mandatory, but still you will get that message. See, because in sample 2026, I did not create any identifier. Still, I am able to assign the data, no? See, here I have assigned.
Mm.
So it will just show that you have to create a identifier. If you don't create, if you bypass, nothing will happen. See here, it's blank. But it is a good practice to create a identifier.